We are back. This is episode 4, I believe. This week we have a very interesting pitch that I came up with. We don't know how it's going to go, but Matt's come prepared with a bunch of notes on his laptop again, which is going to be great.
You shouldn't tell people that. I like people to think it's totally improvised.
Yeah.
But actually what I've got is thousands and thousands of words.
Yeah.
All pre-prepared. I've actually prepared this bit.
What you did was load up a Wikipedia page. So.
Yeah. Two Wikipedia pages.
That's double the amount of words. Anyway, without further ado, on with the show.
Ha 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 ha. Wiki episode 4.
And we're back. There's a dog going ham outside. Can you hear that?
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Is it picking up on the mic?
It's picking up pretty loudly.
Do you want me to shut the windows?
No, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
If we speak more frequently
Okay.
and more louder, we can outshine the dog.
Yeah. Or we wait for it to bark.
Mm!
And then we can start talking.
Okay, so what's the plan today?
Well, last time we had... It was quite handy because it was 10 years since Inception came out, so we did an Inception recasting, and
Yes,
we sort of faced off against each other. I had my 80s action version, you had your 90s action version. This episode,
I was John Travolta, you were Nick Cage.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's not explain that joke. Let's just
No. If people get
people
it,
will get it. Yeah.
So this time it's slightly different. We are going to be doing a recast, but we're going to be working together. We're old foes joining forces.
Yeah.
But this time, I'm just getting my notes.
Okay.
This time we're recasting, but we're doing not one Marvel movie, but it's sort of like MCU characters.
The ensemble cast that is for the past 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But as played entirely by Will Smith characters.
Yes.
So not just Will Smith, but it's these characters.
So what you're telling me is, if you imagined, say, Avengers, or even like Avengers Infinity War or anything like that, with everyone all together, except every single character is played by a version of Will Smith from other movies.
Yeah, it could be the young version where they've what do they do? Like put clay on his face and it makes him look younger? I don't know. Vaseline or something.
Oh my goodness, no.
Or it's just Will Smith by himself, or it could be the animated shark. Was he a shark?
Shark Tale, yeah.
Oh no, he was a fish that beat up sharks, wasn't
he wasn't a shark, no, but that was the DreamWorks answer to Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It was a pretty bad answer.
I never watched Shark Tale, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah? I remember Christina Aguilera was a jellyfish. And she sang, "In the car wash, yeah."
Oh, no, she wasn't the jellyfish.
No?
She was in it, but she was like the love interest that shouldn't really be the love interest.
Okay.
Like Will Smith's character fancies her, but really she's the wrong woman for him.
Oh, okay. Who was the right woman?
There is a jellyfish.
Was it Queen Latifah?
It was Renee Zellweger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, Queen Latifah was just all over all those animated films. Like, she was in... I swear she was in Ice Age.
Ice Age 2, I think.
Wasn't she also in Madagascar or something like that?
Possibly.
Well, that could have been someone else.
I'll look it up now.
Like, who played the hippo? There was someone who played the hippo in Madagascar, and it was someone similar to Queen Latifah.
Hippo in Madagascar.
Like a sassy lady.
All I've got are loads of pictures, and I'm thankful that Safe Search is on. Is it? Oh my god, what's her name? Gloria.
Was it Gloria Estefan?
Voiced by Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay.
And Willow Smith.
Hey.
Played the young version of.
Man, coming full circle in the Smith family.
But yeah, she wasn't in Madagascar.
No.
But there was a time where Queen Latifah was
just everywhere. Yeah.
She did a lot of live action stuff.
Yeah.
I remember there was one where she was in a plane. That's about all I can remember.
Was that the alternate version of Sully with Tom Hanks? Except, like, the director's cut. We are getting a bit sidetracked here.
We are getting sidetracked. So we've got Will Smith as all the characters in the MCU. But also he's playing them as his old characters.
Okay.
Looking through Will Smith's filmography, when you first suggested that, I thought this is going to be really difficult
Mm-hmm.
because I thought Will Smith pretty much plays the same character.
That's not entirely
There are
true.
similarities in some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking through his filmography, he's actually quite varied.
Yeah, I mean, like you're not. I'm. The thing was, Will Smith always is Will Smith. He's always the fresh prince. He's got that kind of swag about him, you know.
Right.
But say, for instance, someone like Tom Cruise. He's literally Tom Cruise in every film.
Yeah.
So at least Will Smith, even though he's got that fresh prince charm, he's playing different characters.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's why I thought Will Smith was a good choice
Yeah.
to recast the MCU.
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
So let's start it off with the most famous one. And who's the most famous MCU character? Drum roll, please.
Pepper Potts.
Yeah,
Pepper Potts, as played by Gwyneth Paltrow originally, but she's been kicked out. She wants to do some more stuff for Goop.
Like the smell of her vagina, or
In a bottle.
Yeah, her sweat in the form of a candle, and it's named "This Is My Scent."
Where the Gwyneth? This is vagina.
Dior, my ass. I saw a very
That to me just looks like, you know, when people are, I'm not saying privileged as in like privileged is a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think she just happens to be privileged. She's
yeah.
Steven Spielberg's goddaughter, I believe.
Is she?
She's been in Hollywood for a while.
Yeah, she was Coldplay's wife for a bit.
She was Coldplay's wife. No one knows the others.
No.
There are others.
The whole
Who knows?
band.
Yeah, the whole band is what's his name? Coldplay.
Yeah. First name Cold, last name Play.
So she has had a privileged life. And I think Goop is almost like what happens when someone perhaps spends most of their life hearing that all their ideas are good.
Yeah.
And eventually it does culminate in, should I shove this rock in my vagina?
And then sell it for $59.99.
And the person who just says yes maybe takes a moment,
Yeah.
but then still says yes.
Yeah. It's like, yes, okay, I think this will sell.
Yeah.
What does Goop stand for? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because I know the G and the P is clearly Gwyneth Paltrow, right? What are the
Maybe
two
it's like
O's for?
Gwyneth.
Ooh,
Paltrow.
Paltrow. Yeah. That's what everyone thinks before they buy her product.
I was thinking whilst they use it.
Oh, well, that's the user.
Gwyneth. Paltrow, as they sit down. It's like her as she's sitting down for a meeting.
Yeah.
What's the name? Gwyneth. Paltrow.
The first O is the initial shock from using the product, and the second O is the like
Getting used to it.
the getting used to it, and the defeat that you just kind of. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So, yeah, Pepper Potts, I went really strong.
Yeah?
That opening one.
Okay. Who did
I
you
haven't
think?
seen the movie, but I went with Cypher Rage purely on the basis of
And we're talking Cypher Rage from After Earth.
Cypher Rage from After Earth, yeah. Not Cypher Rage from The Legend of Bag of Ants.
Because
Who was,
we
of
all
course,
know
played by
Cypher Rage. Matt Damon. Okay, so why do you think Cypher Rage from After Earth would be a good contender for Pepper Potts?
They both have ridiculous names.
Okay,
That's it.
That's the only thing.
I haven't seen After Earth.
Okay, neither have I.
That was a really bad one to start with.
Yeah.
But should we go with the actual most famous one?
The actual most famous one. Okay,
Or
hang
the
on.
one-
Let's not just let this go. Pepper Potts, right?
Okay.
What kind of a character is she? She is the assistant to Iron Man,
The
but
assistant also grounds him,
also grounds him, and then eventual wife. Yeah, and
which
then
is good.
and then she ultimately becomes female Iron Man at the end. What's her name? Rescue.
Rescue, yeah.
Rescue. Yeah. So I mean I haven't seen After Earth, but there's a level of science fiction there. So I
Yeah.
guess that's the tie-in.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're both sci-fi.
Yeah, that's it. Moving on.
We've tied that down. That is just so tied down. That's
Yeah.
a tent that is going to be blown away
Yeah.
by the slightest breeze.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the one that started it. We've mentioned
Held by
him.
a safety pin on a blade of grass.
That's a tent that's held together with a safety pin. Yeah. So should we do Iron Man?
Yeah, sure. So Iron Man.
Who are you thinking?
Well, you told me this before we started the podcast,
Right.
and I cannot unthink it now
Okay.
because I feel like, yeah, it would make sense.
Okay.
There is no other. I mean, I could think of one other guy, but only because of the kind of character he is.
Right.
But I don't know if you've really got him as another
Okay.
MCU character.
I love that you keep saying him because you've got the listeners on tenterhooks.
Yeah.
I've got it in front of me, and even I am on
I don't want to say.
the edge of my seat.
Oh my god, I'm the only one wearing headphones, and that was so loud in my ears. So yeah, I think you go ahead with what your one is.
Okay. So my pitch for Iron Man would be Agent K
Okay.
from Men in Black,
Okay.
because he's like a bit different to those around him. He's not. He doesn't just follow the rules.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the scene where they're all doing the tests,
Yep.
and they're all like the best of the best of the best, sir.
And
And
oh, he's funny because he's like the best of the best, sir. It's like I just find that really funny.
yeah, yeah. But that scene, they're all in uniform.
Yeah.
He's just in, I think it's like an orange jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and also he comes up with the solution to the problem when they're doing their test.
Mhm.
No one can find like a surface, and
Yeah.
Will Smith breaks his pencil and everything. So he just decides, okay, I'm just going to drag this table over. And I feel like it's not a complicated problem, but I feel like that's a Tony Stark response to that.
Okay. Because
The
he can.
solution is obvious. I don't care what other people think. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Because if you think about how Iron Man is like, I mean, he was locked in a cave with a bunch of scraps. Well, I'm not Tony Stark, am I? But like, he was able to come up with something out of nothing.
Yeah.
In his own way, right? Where Agent K also did that. He didn't follow the rules.
Yeah.
He kind of just like did something.
And also
Sorry,
he
in
shoots-
case the audience didn't know, I was trying to be Jeff Bridges from Iron Man 1. If you watch that scene, that's just him like blowing up.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
His tie goes over and everything.
Yeah. I watched that again the other day. And I was like, how did he do that with his tie?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
That's
so
acting.
Iron Man, he's got that kind of character where he doesn't really, he bends the rules a little bit.
I mean, he Agent K shoots that girl as well in the where they do the shootout practice just
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
And I feel like his deductive reasoning for it is a sort of Tony Stark thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just going in
a way.
all guns blazing, he stands there and just thinks.
Was Agent K, before he became Agent K, was he as arrogant as Tony Stark before he had that kind of revelation that I need to be a better person?
I wouldn't say he's got that going for him. So I guess that's a weakness in my casting choice.
And I was trying to think, is there another Will Smith character who has that arrogance?
Well, you mentioned someone
I did
earlier.
mention, yeah.
Does he have that arrogance?
Well, I was thinking, I think his name was Agent Spooner from iRobot.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Detective Spooner.
Detective Spooner?
Yeah.
Sorry, Agent K, Detective Spooner.
Okay.
Yeah, because he does have that level of arrogance where he thinks like he's better than all these robots.
Yes.
Yeah?
And every other
Yeah.
person around him.
And it's only until the robot becomes he becomes so human, he realizes that, oh, not all robots are the same.
Right.
So he has that kind of character arc. But at the same... Also, he is part robot too.
He is part robot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's got like that kind of, the denial of him being like part robot, where Iron Man has got that kind of denial of him being like an weapons owner.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's like a slight parallel there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I did not think about that.
I do-
Detective Spooner, is
Yeah. I do think, though, Agent K does have legs, but I don't know where else he would go
Yeah.
in the MCU. Like,
So
what
you-
else does Agent K do that other MCU characters might do? Because Agent K, he's like a wise cracker, you see. He kind of makes funny jokes every now and then. He's
But
like,
by the time Endgame comes around, they're all doing that.
I guess so.
Like even Rhodey in the first film, and even the second film.
I mean, Rhodey in the first film, he's not really... I wouldn't count him as Rhodey.
In Iron Man 2,
Yeah.
he's very sort of stoic and to the point. And I don't remember him making too many jokes. He's not like humorless.
Yeah.
But-
But then by the end, he's like, hang on a second, this is a booby trap. Have you ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? And stuff like that. He's like making all these references.
And Thor's like, what is running through my veins? And he's like, cheese whiz. And it's like, one, that's petty and cruel. And two, like, not everyone needs to joke.
No. But that's the Russo brothers for you. Did they write that? I think they wrote it.
I can't remember who wrote it. They've done a few of the MCU movies, I think.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Christopher someone, I think. Not Macquarie. Not old Mission Impossible. No. Mate, what's your favourite Mission Impossible film?
I think I've got to say Fallout, because it's the most recent one, but also the one that really made me grip on the edge of my seat, just because of that helicopter scene at the end. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
That was pretty damn good, I will say. But if I'm being honest, I don't remember much from the first three. I just remember 4, 5, and 6 only because they were more recent.
I like the third one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen. Well, I've seen it. I don't remember much from it.
Okay.
I just remember him getting hit by a rocket on a bridge.
Yes.
And then the blowback throws him into a car. That's Philip Seymour Hoffman saying, I'm just gonna hurt her real bad. I just remember him saying something along the lines of that. But he was a good actor in that. I remember.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's always.
Yeah.
Maybe not in Patch Adams. I feel like he's not given room in Patch Adams.
No, he's nowhere near as good as Greg Sestero in Patch Adams. Remember him?
Yeah. He stands out.
Yeah. Okay, we've gone massively sidetracked. We were talking about who Agent K would be.
Oh yeah. Yes.
But I can't think of anyone. Maybe we should go back to that.
Yeah, looking through the list, maybe a Star-Lord.
Star-Lord? Could be. He's got the alien thing going for him. Because that's the tie-in, the aliens, you know? Because you think about, he's from the 90s, well, kind of from the 90s, isn't
Yeah,
because he was like rocking a cassette player at the time, so it's around the same kind of era. Wisecracking all the time.
Yeah.
I know we already had that discussion, but like we're talking about Agent K, yeah. Just him specifically. Always
And I would say Star-Lord in the Guardians films and later on shows himself to be quite resourceful, quite a quick thinker.
Yeah.
And I'd say Agent K is like, he's not someone who perhaps needs to plan ahead or prepare a lot. He's not that sort of character. He's someone that's perhaps better at doing things on the run, improvising.
And from the sounds of things, I don't remember if they even talked about it in... Oh no, here's another parallel. Because Star-Lord, he kind of eventually becomes kind of orphaned, right?
Yeah.
And he gets adopted by this gang of aliens. But he's talking about Men in Black. He becomes the agent. He has to forget about all his past. So he becomes his new identity.
His new family becomes
new family.
The agency.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
So maybe,
his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah. And also spokesman for Japanese coffee.
Oh, yeah. That is so weird.
Every time Tommy Lee Jones is mentioned on this podcast now, I have to talk about that Japanese coffee. I think that's a good fit, though.
That's a good fit.
Agent K, Star-Lord, I think that's good. Yeah. So we've got Agent K, Star-Lord. We've
Detective Spooner
is Iron Man. Who's next? Who have we got?
Let's look at the list.
Let's not forget what's his face from After Earth as Pepper Potts. I've already forgotten his name.
Cypher Rage. I don't know if some listeners that have turned the volume right up might have heard me roll my eyes as I said Cypher Rage. Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner? You had an idea for Bruce Banner.
I have not seen this movie. However, I have seen a 2.5 minute clip.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't watched every Will Smith movie out there. So what is your character?
He stands out just from his name, Howard.
Yeah.
From Collateral Beauty.
Okay.
I think it's a movie where he writes letters to like death and time.
Okay.
But he does it as a sort of therapy. But eventually death and time get back to him and they like show up.
Well, I don't really know.
Like, hey, I'm Death.
This is like potential spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched the movie. And I don't know if you mind. Do you mind me talking about this?
Go for it.
So I remember watching a review. So Will Smith is like a troubled man. He's writing all these letters, I believe. And then he has a group of friends who feel sorry for him. So they start filming him talking to people and CGIing them into these clips and pretending like he's talking to someone, but it almost makes him look insane. But I don't really know what the motive was there. I just remember that was an element of it.
Okay.
And they were trying to do it to help him, but I don't see how that helps him.
I'm not
That just
sure.
makes him look insane.
I know he has a couple of friends played by Ed Norton and Kate Winslet that are like, I want to help my friend. get
Helen
back to the
Mirren is
world.
in there somewhere.
She's death, I think.
Yeah.
It's
But they're
hard
not real.
because-
Like, they're not really death, time, and whatever.
Okay, they're just actors.
They're just his friends pretending to be.
Okay.
Or like maybe they've hired actors to be time, death, and space, or something like
I
that.
hope that is the movie.
Yeah. But
Because
I'm
then the last 10 minutes just become
Yeah.
an awful comedy.
Yeah. Comedy beauty is what they should call
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But it's difficult because, as we said, neither of us have seen the movie.
We haven't seen the movie, but why did you decide he should be Bruce Banner?
Well, in the clip, he's talking to Death.
Yeah.
I think he's on a train.
Okay.
And he's talking about how he's essentially just given up on everything around him. And it struck me as very early Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner in Avengers Assemble.
Okay.
Where he's just wanting to hide away from the world.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, whatever happens to me happens.
And then Scarlett Johansson comes in and like try and like convinces him to
Yeah.
be, otherwise. So I guess we got that parallel to him, but I came up with the great idea of the other half of Bruce Banner, that being the Hulk.
Yes, I didn't think about that at all.
And then we were just thinking, okay, Bruce Banner, fair enough, but Bruce Banner comes in two packages. You see, like he's got Bruce Banner and he's also got the Hulk. There's the Jekyll and Hyde. Who's gonna be the Hulk? Well, who's huge and muscly, who's also been played by Will Smith and also another colour. I'm waiting for you to finish up.
Oh. I thought you were going to pitch your idea.
Oh, no,
It's the genie.
The genie, exactly. You get 10 points.
Is that it, though? Just he's big and he's a different colour?
That's the only reason, because
Yeah, you're
there
right.
is no other character that I think Will Smith plays where he just becomes this huge guy who only speaks a few words like a child and smashes things.
Yeah, he's just very angry.
He's just very angry. But the only person I could think of was Aladdin, but he's like complete.
the
not
genie.
Aladdin, the genie
He's
from
known.
Yeah, but like the only reason is because he is just like a whole nother version of, like aesthetic wise of Will Smith, right?
Okay.
But if you think about it, in the movie, the live action one, there are versions of him being just Will Smith wearing like normal clothes.
Yeah.
I say normal. He did not look normal in that film. But then he becomes big and blue, right? That's the only parallel that I can think of.
Okay.
Can you think of anyone else that Will Smith has played that could be the Hulk? Because I don't think there is.
No, I'm looking through here. Did you know he's down as a producer for This Means War? The
Really?
romantic comedy starring Tom
Chris
Hardy
Pine.
and Reese Witherspoon and Chris Pine.
No, I didn't.
Crazy.
Oh. Well, the
We've
more you
learned
know.
something today.
I'm going to...
Does he get... I don't know. He doesn't really get super angry in
Anything.
anything.
Well, that's it then. Yeah, Aladdin is now...
That's the end of our podcast.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. Who's next?
Well, let's have a think. I think... Oh, let's have a look at the list. Who else have we
So
got?
there's our list of main characters.
Of MCU characters, right. What about... So who... Oh, Thor. Here we go. Let's think about
Okay.
Thor.
I couldn't think of anyone for Thor.
Well, the only person that I could think of was Will Smith's character from A Winter's Tale.
I have not seen that movie. Who
the
does he
only
play
reason-
in
Was it
Winter's
Lucifer or Satan or something like that?
I looked it up and it says he plays Lucifer.
Yeah, it's Lucifer.
But that's all I know.
So, A Winter's Tale, from my memory, I haven't seen it either. I remember it came out in 3D. But
Good.
it was Colin Farrell.
The Hammer of Thor.
It was Actually, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? No. It can't be, because the only reason why I thought Lucifer from Winter's Tale was because he puts like a hammy British accent in that.
Right.
And Thor has quite a hammy British accent. But if I'm thinking about his powers, right?
Yeah.
Thor can fly.
Yeah.
He's super like muscly and like he's got, he's pretty much unbreakable, right?
Right.
What about Hancock? Only because he flies around like Thor does. Mm-hmm. He's big and muscly like Thor is. He
drinks a lot.
He drinks a lot. Towards the end of Thor's career, so to speak, he gets a little bit of he gets a bit lost in his world, and that's kind of like what Hancock does at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's just a little bit reversed.
Yeah.
And he redeems himself when he has to fight Charlize Theron. Spoiler alert: she's also a superhero.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like when they're near each other, their powers.
I didn't really care much for that film. But
I love the idea.
Yeah.
Because it was at the time where superhero films were maybe just becoming popular.
Yeah.
And there had been Spider-Man and the X-Men. Yeah. Maybe the Hulk had come out by then, the Ang Lee one. Mm. And I just thought, great, we've got a superhero, but he's
a drunk.
He's a drunk. He's a bit, I don't want to say he's a bit more real, but he's just it's a different personality within that superhero package.
Yeah.
And then they just...
I mean, when I saw the trailer, I didn't think much of it either at the time. I just thought, this isn't going to be great. But I just knew that it's going to be somewhat entertaining if you turn your brain off. In a sense.
Yeah.
But when the Charlize Theron thing came in, and the whole she's also a superhero, I just thought, this is quite nonsense. And then they have the obligatory giant CGI fight in the clouds. And you couldn't really tell what was going on.
They're taking him into space.
Yeah. Oh man, that line.
Let's not talk about Batman vs Superman.
I feel like we have to. You've just referenced it now. We kind of have to. There's a scene in Batman v Superman which I could not let down ever since I saw it on the night that it came out.
I think it's simultaneously your favourite scene and least favourite scene.
I burst out laughing in the cinema, and I must have annoyed some people because there's a bit where what's the name of the guy who's the big monster guy?
Doomsday.
Doomsday. I was going to say Apocalypse, but who cares? It's about the same thing. So Doomsday is causing havoc on Earth, right?
I can just hear some DC fans that maybe listen to this just cringing.
Yeah, Doomsday is wreaking havoc on big fiery Earth that's happening and being caused by Wonder Woman, Batman and Superman are all fighting, and there's no other way to get him off apart from Superman. He has to grab him and shoot him up to space. And then, just in case we didn't know what was going on, there was a guy who was working in the offices of who they're working for in the government side, and he just goes, "Oh, what is he doing?" Another guy says, "I think he's taking him into space."
It's so dumb, and it also presumes that the audience is equally dumb.
Yeah. So there were loads of problems in that.
There is a reason why people despise these movies.
Yeah.
Some people like them. Mm-hmm. Like that person who just beat their horn. Some people don't like them because they didn't like Jesse Eisenberg,
right.
Or maybe they don't think Henry Cavill's a good Superman. I think he's all right.
Yeah, he's okay.
But I think a huge part of it, and this links to other recent blockbusters, is that they think the audience is dumb.
Yeah.
So they need to explain, they're taking him to space.
Yeah. Well, you know what didn't really... The thing is, they do have moments in that film. We're talking about Batman v Superman now,
right.
Completely off topic, but there are moments in it that I felt like needed more explaining. What the hell was all the Granny's peach tea all about?
Oh my lord!
You know?
Did we talk about this in the last episode? I think
we either talked about it in the last episode or we talked about it privately in a normal conversation. But I just remember thinking, what is this Granny's peach tea thing all about?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of works in the context of that it was just it's just as silly as Granny. You might as well just call it Granny's peach tea or something.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see it, a whole building explodes.
Yeah.
And maybe I fell asleep at some point and I just lost a bunch of information, but to me that just didn't make any sense.
I think it's Lex Luthor saying to she's a congresswoman, isn't she?
I don't know.
I don't remember the character's name,
Yeah.
but there's a hearing going on, and I think it's Lex Luthor saying to her, like, I'm about to screw you over, or something like that. So it's almost like a private message to her saying, this explosion that is going to happen in 2 seconds, that's all me, baby.
And wasn't it implied that the Granny's peach tea is a jar of piss?
It's a jar of piss.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big jar as well, actually.
How much
now we bring it up.
Yeah.
I remember it's a good old... that's good, 2 litres, maybe?
Like, not only
How long has Lex Luthor been planning this?
not only did he have to plot that in there before everyone went into the courtroom, he also had to fill that whole jar up with either his own piss or just all of his minions. He's just like, guys, I just need you guys to piss in this jar for the sake of this bit.
Maybe it was like a memo company-wide and they're doing drug testing.
Or it could have been Granny's peach tea. And
it could have been Granny's peach tea.
It's only Granny's peach tea.
Granny's peach tea just doesn't smell nice, but it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my days. It's like Parmesan. Parmesan smells disgusting, tastes delicious, just like Granny's peach tea. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about Granny's peach tea.
The Hulk? No, Hancock.
We were talking about Hancock.
Oh my God. I watched a scene from that. Again, research. There's a bit where some kid's calling him an arsehole. Do you remember that scene?
Was he on a bench?
There's like a long-haired blonde kid.
Yeah.
French.
Right.
And I think it's maybe a third of the way through the film.
Okay.
And Hancock has landed and he's going to talk to Jason Bateman's character. He's like a PR guy.
I do not remember Jason Bateman being in the
Bateman's
film.
in it.
Okay.
Being very Jason Bateman-y. And... yeah, I think he's like about to meet Jason Bateman. So he lands outside his house and this kid is like, I've heard you're an arsehole. I won't do a French accent because I can't do it.
Okay.
But he keeps calling Hancock an arsehole. And then Will Smith like leans close to him and he's like, call me an arsehole one more time. And the kid says like arse. He doesn't get to say hole.
Yeah.
And then Hancock throws him
into the
like
air.
hundreds of feet into the air as a punishment. Which, I don't know about you, I think that sounds like it could be a potentially funny scene.
Yeah.
It's like potentially interesting in that superheroes don't act like that, so it's sort of a twist on it.
Yeah.
But it's so long.
Is it really long?
I swear he calls
really drawn out.
He calls him an arsehole like 20 times.
No. So it could have worked if he just said it a few times.
Yeah, like 2 or 3. I'm not saying that every scene has to be efficient and quick and to the point.
Yeah.
But that scene went on.
Can you just remind me what happened to that kid? Did he eventually come back down?
Jason Bateman comes out and he's like, oh, hi, good to see you. And Will Smith is constantly sort of looking up.
Okay.
And then eventually the kid comes down and Will Smith catches him.
Okay.
So yeah, the kid doesn't die.
But the thing is, does he have a good, like, understanding of physics? Because
in real life that kid would have exploded.
He would have gone into space, right? And just floated off.
Now you see, there wasn't a government guy to explain whether he was going into space or not, so I'm not sure. But he walked away. He seemed fine physically. Emotionally, he seemed a little bit broken.
Okay.
Which you would be after being thrown in the air.
This does not make me want to watch the film again. Anyway, we've talked enough about Hancock and Batman.
We really have.
So let's move on to the next character.
That scene was drawn out as much as our conversation about Hancock. Nick Fury, who for some reason I've got down as Nicky Fury. Maybe he's like a 30s gangster.
Hey, Nicky Fury.
Hey. Hey, look who it is. Who's this wise guy?
And who have you got?
Hey, haven't you heard? That's Nicky Fury.
He's the biggest bad guy in town. And he's just there with his like pinstripe suit. Yeah.
Hey, I'm the new crime boss.
Look at my eye patch.
Who are you wise guys? They're all wise guys.
Who have you got down as Nicky Fury?
Originally, I put Christopher Hitchens because I got them
who's that
mixed
character
up.
from?
Christopher Hitchens is a real guy.
Oh, okay.
Alex Hitchens from Hitch. When I pitched this to the wife, she was like, "No, Hitch is not Nick Fury. Where'd you get that from?"
And then your explanation is
they're both manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
They're both secretive.
Mm-hmm.
They can both easily persuade others to do things for them.
Yeah.
Both possibly psychopathic.
Are they?
Not sure.
Is Nick Fury psychopathic?
I mean, he uses people quite a lot. Doesn't really seem to have a lot of pause for thought. Should I be doing this morally?
I guess.
Dunno.
I don't remember Hitch much, apart from the fact that he's allergic to bees. Was that a part of
No,
the
it's
fact?
food.
It was food that he was
But he
allergic
does
to.
come up in a
Yeah,
like his
yeah.
head doubles in size.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be the Hulk, Hitch, but when he eats seafood or whatever it
well,
is.
it's something like that, yeah.
But I don't know if you had a Nick Fury.
Well, Nick Fury is quite serious, isn't he?
He is quite serious.
And he's also all dressed in black. Let's have a look at some characters we've got of Will Smith. So
okay.
I can flick
I'll get
through.
Will Smith's filmography up here.
Okay. Well, if you think about it, I mean, I know you've already got the guy from Suicide Squad, but the only parallel that I can think of was that he was a little bit pimpin', wasn't he? So,
How do you mean?
like, before he became Deadshot, he was a bit of a pimp, wasn't he?
Was he?
I swear he was. Was he not? I swear he looked a bit like a pimp. Like, look up.
Like a stereotypical pimp?
Yeah, like a stereotypical pimp, like 1970s pimp. Or am I thinking of a completely
I
different
don't
movie?
even know what to look up for that.
Just type in Deadshot, Suicide Squad, Will Smith, before, or something like that, and it might come up with what he looks like. I swear he looked a bit like a pimp.
USA Today. Huh? In this version of Suicide Squad, Will Smith's Deadshot looks like a pimp. Here we go.
I could have sworn there was a scene where he looked like a pimp.
This is from USA Today. Will Smith strutted onto the set looking half pimp, half like his character from Wild Wild West. For real, why would he be wearing a red leather trench coat, leather pants, and fingerless leather gloves? Maybe he gets cold really easily. Okay, so maybe he does look a bit pimp-tastic.
But that doesn't really matter because Nick Fury isn't a pimp at all, is he?
No.
Why?
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Because Samuel L. Jackson played Shaft at one point. And that's a bit of a stretch. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Nick Fury. Okay, but then I also thought because he always has like that thing on the side of his eye,
What, the eye
it's
patch?
almost like an eye patch, right?
Right.
Not talking about Nick Fury, I'm talking about Deadshot. He's got that
Oh, right.
thing.
Okay.
So there's like the visual parallel. But
Okay.
otherwise, there's no similarities.
Will Smith ever played a pirate?
Has he ever played a pirate? Let's have a look at those Will Smith characters again.
I don't think he has.
Bad boys? I mean, he's kind of like policeman, part of the authority.
I'd say Nick Fury's thing is that he organises.
He organises.
And Hitch
Hitch does.
organises
Okay.
dates.
All right. If you really want Nick Fury to be Hitch, we'll let him have Hitch. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. He's Hitch then.
Okay, who should we do next? What about Captain America?
Captain America.
Because I suggested one character and you were instantly like, no. So I'm wondering.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying
So
that.
who would you have as Captain America?
Well, he's a man from the past,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's also like very old-fashioned. He's a super soldier, in many ways because he got that serum.
The Super Soldier Serum.
The super soldier serum. He travelled through time, through no fault of his own.
Sometimes it just happens. you know?
Sometimes it just happens.
You go to sleep on a,
And he has,
bench by a bus stop and you wake up and you
and he has a big
travel
shield.
forward in
too.
time.
He's like the leader, isn't he? Almost. He's a man of the army.
I feel like you're just going to keep describing Captain America until you think of a...
Well, can you give me your laptop while I look through and you tell me exactly what you think Captain America should be?
So, my pitch to you before we started this, I said The Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince. Okay, yeah.
Um,
I do
Not
remember. I do
because-
remember now. Yeah, I remember.
not because The Fresh Prince is a man out of time, but he is a man out of his element, you see.
Okay.
At the start, he's even explained in the theme song, if you remember, that he is taken away from his normal home and he goes to Bel Air.
Yeah.
So everything seems a bit alien to him at first, and it's showing him adjusting to his surroundings and to these people that are very different to what he's used to. That would be my pitch for the Fresh Prince of Bel Air as Captain America.
And everyone knows that Captain America's signature catchphrase, right? Smell you later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone knows that.
And he said,
because
and
there's
Phil
no
Smith,
there's no swearing in it, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why Captain America likes to say it.
and Will Smith like quite aptly says that at the beginning to the cab driver.
Because there's that really emotional bit in Infinity War
Mm-hmm.
where Captain America's trying to push Thanos off.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
putting all his effort in, and it's really emotional because he gets halfway through the catchphrase, he's like, "Smell ya," and then Thanos hits him.
Yeah. And then as he hits the ground,
And
his
everyone-
exhale is just later.
And everyone knew. I felt it in the cinema that everyone knew, like when he couldn't get through his signature catchphrase,
Yeah.
this is serious.
Okay. Okay.
Thanos means business.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that one. That Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is Captain.
Okay.
And if you think about it, here's another weird parallel. It's not exactly story based, but at the beginning, Will Smith in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was quite a skinny guy, right?
Mhm.
Towards the end of the seasons, he bulked up, didn't he?
Did he?
A little bit.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Because he started putting on a little bit more weight. He was a little bit more he was less scrawny.
Okay.
So if you think about that parallel with him and the super soldiers.
So there is a slight parallel.
So there's a slight parallel.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It backs up my argument, so I'm all for it.
Okay. Right. So who else have we got?
We could do another captain.
No.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Now,
Okay.
Captain Marvel, she's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
She fights aliens quite often, flying around.
I know the perfect person, but I think you've got someone completely different.
So, of course, that, ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard is called stepping on someone's joke. So,
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Please continue.
so Deadshot.
You think it's Deadshot?
I think Deadshot, and here's why. He says, opening his Word doc. Oh, yes. Now, that wasn't just for the joke. It was... I do think there are parallels. So, both Captain Marvel and Deadshot both do things that are quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
Quite visually impressive. Deadshot shoots loads of people.
Yeah. That's it.
And
That's all you got?
Captain Marvel blows up Thanos' ship.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a cool moment, I remember that.
Okay.
And when Thanos tries to headbutt her, and she's just like, I'm not having any of that.
Okay.
But I would say in Endgame, by the time Endgame comes around, both Captain Marvel isn't really given the time or opportunity to make any emotional link with the audience. And I'd say the same of Deadshot.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff with Deadshot. I watched the ending of Suicide Squad again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff about, like, inside his head, he's imagining his daughter.
Right.
And it's all very emotional for him.
Okay.
The main issue is that there's a lot of unearned emotion. I likened it to, remember, who's the guy who does the fire?
Pyro, is it? Or is that X-Men?
That's X-Men.
Oh.
So this is exactly my point. I
Yeah.
can't even remember the character's name. But
Crocodile Man?
He's Crocodile Man. What are his powers? He makes fire.
There's this one bit where he just like crawls into the water.
Yes.
And I was like,
That was weird.
what is his power?
That was
What does he
weird.
do? Like he's just a croc man.
And he's sort of like, yeah, he goes
Surprised
in
he
so
wasn't sponsored by
smoothly,
Crocs.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be such a bad gag.
But I wouldn't put it past him.
Like that's his intro. A
Yeah,
close up
yeah.
of his feet as he's walking by and he's wearing Crocs. Oh, he's a joker. Crocodile Dundee.
Can I interject with your suggestion?
Go on.
Because when you said Captain Marvel, she's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
She fights aliens.
Mm-hmm.
She's from the 90s.
Yeah.
What character does Will Smith play in the 90s who's also a pilot and fights aliens? None other than his character from Independence Day.
Who is called...
Alien Fighter Man. I don't remember his name.
That was the start of I'm going to go see a Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
I think. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I remember the name of Agent K, but I don't remember...
Let me have a look.
And that's not me saying it in a negative way.
No.
That's just
Okay.
me saying that it's a Will Smith movie.
His character name in Independence Day, directed by Ronald Emmerich, and I'm filling time while I'm scrolling.
thought it was Roland.
Roland Emmerich. What did I say?
Ronald.
I'm getting confused with.
Here we are.
McDonald's.
Captain
Steve Hiller.
Hiller.
Yeah, that's him. And his
His
co-star.
characters have got some boring names.
Yeah, well,
Stephen, Howard,
It's just a name, isn't it? Isn't
Mike, Tea Cake Walters.
it? Yeah, Muhammad Ali. How boring.
How boring. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's to me, it's kind of like a no-brainer because there was quite a lot of parallels with him being a pilot,
Yeah.
fighting aliens,
That's why my
smoking cigars.
that's
what
why my
Captain.
Deadshot joke was going to be funny. But yeah, go on.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Jesus. Completely
No,
stepped
go
on
on.
his joke. Yeah.
Pilot fighting aliens.
Yeah.
And from the 90s, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Shall we just move on?
I would
because
also
I feel like
say-
the joke's just fallen flat.
I'd also say she's got a bit of moxie. he's got a bit of moxie.
Mm.
They've both got plenty of moxie between them.
Right.
They've got as much moxie as Lex Luthor left piss in that jar.
Yeah.
So a good 2 litres of moxie there.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of moxie these days.
Okay.
Too much is a bad thing. What am I talking about?
I don't know. Moxie's kind of lost all meaning now.
Should we talk about what other characters we got? Hawkeye we'll go over quickly. I think he's bag of ants because people try to forget he happened, but he is always there. Moving on, any other characters that we could do? I haven't decided anymore, so let's get that list up. Who have we got? Loki. Who could Loki be? I've sort of picked him out of the list.
I guess Loki would be Lucifer from The Winter's Tale.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit of a nasty man. He's a bit British sounding.
Mm.
He's a bit of... I don't know. I've never seen A Winter's Tale. He's a schemer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a bit of a forger. He likes to pretend to be other people.
Mm.
But I can't think of anyone else that Will Smith plays that does that.
He doesn't ever... He rarely plays bad people.
Mm.
Because I thought, who would Thanos be? And I can't think of anyone.
Yeah, he doesn't play bad people at all, does he?
Not really.
Has he ever...
He plays people that have got, like, a bit of salt to him.
The worst person he's ever played was Deadshot.
He was pretty bad, actually.
Yeah. But he's already,
He's the hero of the movie.
But Deadshot
And he says the name of the movie.
Yeah, let's just say A Winter's Tale, Lucifer, because I can think of a good person to be Hawkeye.
Go on.
Who did you think? Did you have a person for Hawkeye?
I think Hawkeye is so unmemorable that I said who should be Hawkeye not 1 minute ago, and we've already both forgotten. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, bag of ants. Yeah. But being serious, who would you have as Hawkeye?
I'd say maybe the guy from I Am Legend. Only because he's got that kind of skill with like sniper rifles. And then if you think about bow and arrows.
I love your version of sniper.
Thank you.
Obviously, you can't see it if you're listening to this, but all Leslie did was put both hands sort of under his chin and then wiggle his fingers.
Because that's what sniper rifles do. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a part of him where, you know, if we're going to be serious about it, he becomes Ronin at some point, right? Because all of his family has gone. Think about the parallels to the character from I Am Legend. I don't know what his character's name is.
Robert Neville.
It is. Oh, okay.
I would actually, a bit more seriousness, I would actually give a shout out and say read the book that it's based on.
Yeah.
Because it is excellent.
Isn't it called Omega Man?
No, that was the movie. I can't remember the name of the book now.
Is it I Am Legend?
It might be that actually.
Yeah.
But it is genuinely very good. I'm going to keep talking slowly.
Well, the reason why I thought, you know, I Am Legend is good.
I Am Legend, yes.
It is just I Am Legend.
Richard Matheson's 1954 novel, but it is genuinely very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about. He's a survivor, isn't he?
He's a survivor, yeah.
And so is Hawkeye.
So is Hawkeye. And they've got a really good long distance range with his sniper rifle and the bow and arrow. And
the only difference between a sniper rifle and a bow and arrow is that the hands that you're twiddling your fingers with a bow and arrow, it's just out here, slightly wider apart.
Yeah. Not to be confused with an octopus.
Yeah, an octopus is... that's just...
I think we should probably wrap things up soon, but like, is there any other...
There are none that come to mind. Any other like famous Will Smith characters? Oscar from Shark Tale. Everyone loves Oscar from Shark Tale.
Hey, Oscar from Shark Tale, quite small, isn't he? He could be Ant-Man.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Sorted.
There we go.
There's like all of our last remaining characters.
These will be quick.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. Who do you think Doctor Strange could be?
Doctor Strange. Let's look through these Will Smith characters. We haven't got anyone for his Bad Boys character, have we?
Who's a bad boy in MCU?
Who's the bad boy?
Who's the bad boy in MCU? Well, let's look at what characters have we got. I swear there's probably one that we haven't thought of.
So who is he in Bad Boys? He's like a bit of a rule breaker, isn't he?
I don't remember Bad Boys much, to be honest with you.
He has a partner.
Yeah.
Who
Martin
he works
Lawrence.
very closely with.
Yeah.
The they sort of make their own rules, if I remember rightly. Unlike anyone else in any movie ever, they make their own rules.
Did we have someone for War Machine?
I don't think we did.
But he doesn't really make his own rules, does he? He's more of a man who
follows the rules, definitely.
Okay, who breaks the rules then? Bucky Barnes? I mean, he's more of a person who's under control of.
I mean, you could say Groot and Rocket, but they're out and out criminals. I feel like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys are not criminals.
No.
In the movie, they would certainly get if it was persecuted. If it was real life, they would certainly be in prison. But I don't know.
Black Panther. He's a man who's got.
Does he break the rules?
Does he? Oh, well. Does he?
I don't know.
I remember.
He's a king. He sets the rules. He's a king. Really.
Oh yeah. Spider-Man. we're kind of like reaching out on anyone.
I don't see anyone here. No. Okay.
Okay, let's not bother.
I feel like that's a big Will Smith character, but if it doesn't fit.
No.
Who else we got?
We've got
done
Wild West.
We've done
Captain James West, the most inventive name in the world.
Yeah, look at it. James, Robert, Stephen, Mike. These are all guys that get together and do fantasy baseball.
Wait, Will Smith plays himself in Jersey Girl?
Where?
I don't know.
What is Jersey Girl?
Oh, it was a movie by Kevin Smith. It's
okay.
Like one of those 90s funny quips movies where they just talk and improvise.
Okay.
But I don't know who...
Gemini Man. What about that? Or do we forget that ever happened?
I haven't seen it. Have you?
I
almost went to go see it.
This is totally against the spirit of judging things for as they are, but I saw the trailer and I just thought, no.
I think you can kind of tell what kind of movie it would be. It's just I don't
want to be too mean, but some Will Smith films
are just a bit average.
I feel like if it was recast, it would maybe go in a different creative direction, and it would maybe be a bit better.
But because it's Will Smith, it becomes a bit vanilla, right?
Yeah. Vanilla's a good word. I would say apart from maybe Suicide Squad, there aren't any Will Smith films I've seen where I've gone, that was awful.
Yeah.
But I've come out of a lot of Will Smith films thinking, it was okay.
Yeah.
Hitch, Men in Black 2.
Men in Black 2 was a little bit... Men in Black 3 was better than Men in Black 2, I think.
But I still thought it was a bit... The first one was great. I loved
amazing.
it as a kid, and I watched it as an adult, and I loved it.
Still loved it. Yeah.
Loved it. I love your impression of the cockroach guy.
Yeah?
Come on. You can't see it, but I'm poking him with a stick.
I'm just trying to remember what he says. When he comes out of the spaceship at the end.
Yeah.
He was like, "It don't matter. In a few minutes, it won't even be matter." Yeah. I put my hands on my head. I like this. And then he rips open and he becomes a giant cockroach, and he doesn't speak English for the rest of the thing.
No.
He's just a giant cockroach. And because he had the human vocal cords when he put dead skin on himself, he was able to speak English.
What a movie that was, though.
Yeah.
That was great. And he's really good. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he's also in...
Cockroach Man.
He's also in Full Metal Jacket, isn't he? He's the guy...
Let's look him up.
Vincent. It's not Vincent D'Onofrio,
Price.
Is it Vincent D'Onofrio?
It might be.
It is! Oh no, Vincent D'Ontario. Is that
what? It? No, you were closer the first time. Vincent.
It is Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah, it is Vincent D'Onofrio. Sorry, I was seeing it from a distance and I thought the F was.
He is the Kingpin.
Yeah.
In the Daredevil TV show.
He's also
in Jurassic World.
Yeah, he's also that guy in Jurassic World.
He's Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket.
Shoots himself in the head.
He's a bit underrated.
Yeah.
Not anymore though, because all our listeners, all three of them.
Me, you.
We've endorsed him, so now he's just going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
He's going to be great. What are we talking about? Vanilla. Yeah.
Vanilla, yeah. I feel like we've gone on so many tangents during this one.
But that's fine.
Yeah, I can't really think of anyone who could be James West from Wild Wild West.
I haven't seen it.
He's cowboy man.
Cowboy man.
Yeah, he's a cowboy man.
I can't wait for that MCU. What was it like? Is it stage 4 that they do?
Phase 4.
Phase 4.
Yeah.
Can't wait for MCU Phase 4. Cowboy man.
Yeah. Speaking of which, though, isn't there a? I think I might be thinking about DC, but isn't there a Plastic Man somewhere?
There is a Plastic Man.
Is that DC or Marvel?
I think that's DC.
Yeah. Because you think you
I'm not going to look at it.
You laugh at me by saying Cowboy Man, but come on, if you think about.
I think that's a problem when you've got.
We haven't got Spider-Man.
This comic book needs to last forever.
Yeah.
And we need to keep coming up with new villains. So of course you end up doing things like Wardrobe Man.
Have you heard about Polka Dot Man?
Polka Dot Man.
He's a real villain, I think, where he's just this man.
I've got to join the dots of this crime.
No. He's even worse than that. He's like a guy in like a morph suit with polka dots all over him, and then he throws the dots at people to kind of like make them fall into dots. I think I heard it from someone else.
Are you thinking about The Spot?
It could be The Spot. Yeah, I might be thinking of The Spot.
I remember The Spot when I was a kid. He was in the Spider-Man cartoon. And he was a guy who, he had like a morph suit, but the spots were like gateways to other dimensions.
No, you're right. It is The Spot.
The Spot's only a half step up, I think.
That's fine. So, like I said earlier on, we didn't come up with anyone for Spider-Man.
So, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, he's like up-and-comer.
Because I would have instinctively gone with the Fresh Prince because he was a younger version of Will Smith.
Let's look at his...
But then there is no one out there that Will Smith plays that's a Spider-Man, so to speak.
Will Smith is one of the few actors to not have played Spider-Man.
Yeah. Come to think of it, he hasn't really played many superheroes, has he?
No, he did Hancock, and I think that might have been it.
Well, if we can't think of anyone, maybe
we'll
we
just
should
do the ESPN reporter from Anchorman 2.
Or, you know what it could be? It could be the younger version of the Gemini Man. Because he's younger.
Because he's young.
Yeah.
We're really scraping the barrel there.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think maybe we should just leave it there.
Yeah.
So, we've got Iron Man.
Semi-successful.
Iron Man is who, again?
So, Iron Man
Spooner.
was... Yeah, Iron Man is Detective Spooner. Bruce Banner is the famous Howard from, you will remember. The Genie is the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Alex Hitchens as Nicky Fury. Captain Marvel.
Which, hold on a second. You say Nicky Fury as if he's just this 1930s gangster.
Yeah.
But he's played by a mid-2000s, what would you call him, a love guru or something like that? Yeah. Who's allergic to shellfish. Great parallels there, Matt.
What are we moving in? We got some booze. We got barrels of booze. No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring some love to this town. See? So we've got Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Would be who? I said Deadshot.
You said Deadshot because that was supposed to be the joke, and I ruined the joke for you.
You said, what's his name from Independence Day?
Stephen Miller, was it? I think something like that.
Stephen Miller. Pepper Potts, Cypher Rage.
Yeah.
That one's obvious. We didn't decide on Lucifer, did we?
No,
From
Thor was
Winter's
Hancock,
Tale.
wasn't it?
Thor was Hancock,
Yeah.
yes.
Thor was Hancock. We got on a massive tangent with that.
We didn't go Black Widow. I don't
Black
know who
Widow?
that would be. Like a spy character.
Spy character.
Keep things close to the chest.
You know what? He has done a spy character before,
Go on.
but it was not a huge movie.
Oh, not.
The Spies.
Not the one where he's a pigeon.
Yeah, the Spies in Disguise.
Okay, there we go. The pigeon from Spies in Disguise
It's Black Widow.
is Black Widow.
Just because he's a spy.
That amount of effort for recasting Black Widow is how much effort Endgame put into mourning her death.
Yes, that is exactly true.
All of 10 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, why don't we throw a giant funeral for Iron Man?
Yeah.
But we could just put something in the wall. Like, what? Did they even do anything? Like
No,
when they were just
they do
running
nothing.
around on that little porch in the.
The Hulk throws a bench really far away because he's super angry.
Yeah, that's equivalent to putting Iron Man's like little heart thing
Yeah.
into the water.
Oh, definitely.
Throwing a bench.
Thing is, no one saw Black Widow like sacrifice herself,
Yeah.
except
So it doesn't matter, does it? Black
except for
Widow's character-
Hawkeye, and it only counts if people see it,
Yeah.
isn't
exactly.
it? It's like charity things. That's why you have to film yourself
And that's why
doing
they.
charity things, because it
and-
doesn't count if people don't see you
And that's
and
why
give you
they.
likes.
That's why they made an extra movie for her, because they were like, you know what, we'll make up for it by doing a movie that we could have done about 5 years ago.
Yeah, and it's a prequel, isn't it?
It's a prequel, yeah. I have a theory about that, by the way.
Go on.
I think the reason why Black Widow is being made is a passing the baton to another character.
Yeah.
Because there's another Black Widow in there, which supposedly... Because Black Widow isn't exactly the only Black Widow. There are multiple Black Widows, I believe. in
Yeah,
the
she
film.
mentions like her and others being
Yeah.
trained.
So I think maybe she passes the baton to this other person.
Maybe.
Or
No,
this
wait,
could be a multi-universe and Doctor Strange comes in at the end and is like, you have to come here with me. Oh.
Why not?
And then picks the wrong one. Supposed to come pick like Scarlett Johansson's character, but accidentally pick someone else. And
Like
she's-
Jeffrey.
Yeah. Come here. Yeah. And then who we got? We got Hawkeye as Bag of
Bag of Bats. No, I like your Robert Neville.
Robert Neville.
I was being silly, but your
Okay.
non-silly version
Yeah.
is actually quite good. And then Captain America, Fresh Prince.
Because he gets like thicker towards the end of the series of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
And
Yeah.
of course, the catchphrase.
Yeah. Smell you later.
Smell you later.
And that's it. We've successfully recast the MCU with Will Smith characters.
Yeah.
Join us next week where we successfully recast all of the James Bonds with
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
I love that James Bond where he's like,
I've almost convinced myself that I like that sound now, but like it's just only because it's so impressionable. I didn't mean this, young. Man, Funny People is like, I think is a bit of an underrated gem.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of gems, oh my God, Uncut Gems.
Oh, you've
What
only
a
just
film.
seen that, haven't you?
I watched that last week. My lord.
If you like Good Time.
Yeah, I watched
It's
Good Time
really
the
good
other day
as
as well, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think it was as good as Uncut Gems, but it was still good.
Still pretty damn
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah, yeah. The ending was very depressing, though.
Hmm.
I sat there thinking, am I going to have to watch through this whole like credit
Yeah.
sequence?
Yeah.
But I won't ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it. But they were both directed by the Safdie brothers. They're
Both feature main characters who you're just willing to stop making bad decisions.
yeah.
Uncut Gems
Both-
just
both-
keeps gambling his
Yeah.
money away. Good Time, he's trying to get his brother out of.
Out of jail.
He's
basically.
been arrested, isn't
He's been arrested, but like it's a bit more complicated than that.
he? Yeah.
But it's almost like the way their characters are written is almost like an allegory for the actors making poor decisions in casting.
I guess
Yeah.
you could say that.
But
Please stop making vampire movies. Stop making.
stop making grown-ups.
I would love to see an Adam Sandler vampire movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already done one.
yeah, Hotel
Hotel
Transylvania.
Transylvania. Yeah.
I meant live action, so
Live
we could
action.
see him put the fangs in and
Yeah.
then try and do. But he keeps like cutting himself.
Well,
It's
I
just-
think like Adam Sandler would have been made to be a great Scooby Doo. You think about it.
Adam Sandler wouldn't even need to put any work in.
No.
He would just turn up and go, and then in post they just deepen it.
I think that's it. Right. Well, thank you very much for listening. I've been Leslie, and
I've been Matt.
this has been Chatting Pitch, and we'll speak to you next time when we come up with another ridiculous thing.
Oh no, we're doing James Bond,
We're doing James Bond as Adam
played by
Sandler.
Adam Sandler
Okay.
characters.
Well, good luck preparing that document next week. Okay, bye.